Today, from Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, it's Week 17 of the NFL on EA Sports.
Set to go now on a beautiful sunny afternoon. And into a sea of red, we're underway in Kansas City. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. And trotting out there, their tall quarterback standing at 6'5".
And he's had a great season so far throwing the football. Very likely could go over 4,000 yards with a good performance here. And even in an age of passing first, that is no small accomplishment.
They will run for the first time with Miles Sanders. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. He wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Back to throw here. Complete. This is Mitchell. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Good job there to locate his tight end, Charles, in the middle of the field.
Yeah, he has good pass-catching abilities, and if they're able to continue to find him here in the early going, I think it'll help out his teammates out on the perimeter. You can take the big shots later if he occupies their attention.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. That's complete. It's Cornell Powell. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
Well, yeah. Obviously, red man covers their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls back inside for the completion.
So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 37-yard line. They'll set up to throw. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Kevin Farley. And the Chiefs are going to take possession of the football as they force the turnover on the opening drive. The KC offense set to go, led as always by the gunslinger, a former MVP in this league. It's Patrick Mahomes.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
On first down, Covington. And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
A quick throw out to Hardman on the perimeter. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Throwing now is Mahomes. Finding Hardman here over the middle. And he'll get this up near midfield, but that's still a few yards shy of the first down. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
Taking a deep shot here for Hardman. Wide open, complete. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Mecole Hardman with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Chiefs are going to take a first quarter lead. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. That time a 6-play drive. And it winds up with the Chiefs hitting pay dirt. The kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. And he'll look to rebound from the early interception that led to 6 points the other way.
And when he threw the interception and he had to come to the sideline, I guarantee his first thought wasn't about the interception itself, but what could result. And I know he was thinking to himself, come on, defense, bail me out. Well, they weren't able to in this situation. Now he's got to go out and atone for it himself, but he can't force things.
2nd and 5. Open is Powell. That's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Now, that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, a sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well. And that's what they just did on that play.
A bit of an opening there on the first down run as they get this forward for about 6 yards. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Now on 3rd down, an extra DB out there for the Chiefs. He'll drop to throw. It's caught. Mitchell. And he is going to have an Eagles first down, and he'll have it by plenty as they're able to keep the drive alive on 3rd and inches. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. Bradley Chubb there on the tackle.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play, and it'll be 3rd and 10. To throw. And And this is going to be incomplete.
Tight defense there on third down, but what a product of good coaching and even better execution, because he realized he's in field goal range. No sense forcing anything, and he made sure he didn't.
And his kick here is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So a good kick there. They put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the 3.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow. Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
This fielded right at the goal line. And they'll get him down right around the 25. Actually, the 26 officially. So a net gain of 1 there. KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing, because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
He's going to fire one deep left sideline. And this one is incomplete. 2nd and 10. A very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done, because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. He's got his man. That's Hardman.
I'm the best
in for the Chiefs touchdown. Mecole Hardman with another touchdown. Number 24 on the year. And the Chiefs add on to their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And that pushes the lead up to 11. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it's capped off with a Kansas City touchdown. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help.
And he's taken down. A Chiefs sack. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Now back to throw. That's to Mitchell out of the backfield. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. They'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line. It's a sack. Chris Jones in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. The Eagles send out their punter now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. Here's Hill on the return. Yards on the return, but for a moment looked like he had a shot to go all the way. And the Chiefs will have excellent field position here as they take over. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down. Covington. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. And he's going to take this close to the first down marker as he stopped at the Eagles' 27. It'll go as a gain of 7 on the play, and it sets up a 3rd and inches situation. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create...
And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. A great play there. His 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Chiefs are able to grow their lead. So simple math here in the first half. They've had 3 drives offensively, and they have scored every time, and they've got the lead.
Well, whenever we talk about adjustments, we usually talk about an offense making adjustments, right? This is all about the defense. They've got to figure out some way, somehow to slow them down. Do they blitz a little bit more? Do they play more zone coverage? Right now, they don't know where to go because they're hitting them in every direction.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is up to 18 now. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Philadelphia's offense ready to give us another look. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. 2nd and 2. He'll look to throw. Open man is Goddard, the tight end.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Now we'll throw here to his running back. So that'll be no better than an incompletion. And that'll make it 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And the Chiefs are going to get him. Bradley Chubb in there for the sack, and that is now 21 for him on the year. Wow, what a season. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
The Eagles send out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He'll send this one into the Midwestern air, and it's a good one. Now Hill to return it. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
Well, normally you see 3 tight ends in a formation. You have to think to yourself, this has got to be a run. And I know as a safety, when I saw that, I took an extra step or 2 towards the line of scrimmage. Instead, they threw the ball, and he found one of those tight ends for a very nice pickup.
That is incomplete.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
This pass going to be caught by Hardman. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Here's Mahomes to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Now he's going to throw it back deep over the middle. And a big turnover there as his guys will... Get the football back. So the interception there, and Charles, I'd imagine that's something you can maybe live with in December, but not come January.
And I love how you make the distinction there. You're talking about regular season versus the postseason, the playoffs. Because these guys, they've already clinched a playoff spot, but they know, looking ahead, when they get into the postseason, they've got it.
And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. So they go with the empty set, and that's the risk you run right there. Nobody was there to protect.
Well, you know how most offenses have audibles, and they've changed plays when they see certain sets. A lot of defenses do the exact same thing. You go to an empty back set, they bring pressure, and boy, did it pay off in this case.
Well, look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. All that. For a 2-yard gain, second down.
What's tight? Tight is right. What's tight? Tight is right. We got Ridley. Mike 7. Quit talking about it.
Now Mahomes. He finds his man, complete. That's Manning. And he's finally out of bounds, but he's taken it all the way down to the 8. A big play there just before halftime.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Mike 7.
Now here's Mahomes. And quick throw here, that's complete. Touchdown! A great effort there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Chiefs will extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point right down the middle. And the rout is on here in this first half. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And with 10 seconds left, not really enough time to put something together. And they'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we'll send you down. And just like that, on we head to half number 2. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And the half will begin with a touchback. So the Chiefs offense heads out. There's a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And one thing we do know, they will be a part of the playoffs come January. They have clinched the AFC West.
And that feels good for them, but they feel like their work is far from done because as it stands right now, they won't have the first round bye. But a lot of teams would tell you, that's okay with us. We just want to get to the playoffs and wreak havoc from that point on.
Flushed out right. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here. On 2nd down, Covington. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. And this a leaping effort, but it's knocked away and incomplete. Here's the Chiefs punter now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. A big kick that time, 52 yards. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. The Eagles send out their punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. And this returnable for Hill. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. From midfield, here's Mahomes. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35.
And if anyone thinks they're just going to tuck their horns in and pull back off the throttle a little bit, you can forget it. Even with this big 3rd quarter lead, I think this team's going to continue to take their shots downfield, and there's another completion.
And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
situation. Let's go. Mike 7. Tighten up.
Working from the gun, Mahomes. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 18.
Well, I certainly don't want to pile on, but this defense has just not been up to the challenge in this game, and this continues as we see here. Coverage, not been very good. Soft in spots. And there's an easy throw and catch for another first down.
And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. They'll keep it on the ground. Covington. And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9.
64 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
On 3rd down, Covington. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. It'll go as a loss on the play. Not what you need down here. It's going to be 2nd and goal.
Well, that wasn't exactly a work of art, was it?
No, that wasn't a thing of beauty. That's just why I don't play in points per reception fantasy leagues.
Is that what they call
receiver
PPR?
still gets a point there. Yeah.
No.
And you went that far back. No bueno.
Well, I'll tell you what. I wish I had their defense on my fantasy game.
And he'll be out of bounds. I'll give him a dozen on the pitch and catch, but now they're up against a 3rd and goal. They fake the give. Now Mahomes sliding out of the pocket. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Able to get there and pick it.
And the Eagles are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
On 2nd down now, Potts. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first. They'll look to throw here. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. The Eagles send out their punter now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Watch out for Hill on the return. A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you've got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. Covington. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own.
Over the middle, and there's a diving catch. And he's got it. Touchdown, Chiefs. A great play there.
with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Chiefs look like they're about to put an end to their two-game losing streak as they add on to their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one. And the drive starts with a completion, left side. And he'll be marked down all the way inside the KC 10. A big play there on the catch and run. And a nice milestone reached on that last throw is here late in the season. He goes over 4,000 yards passing.
And he's really thrown the ball well all season long. Had some big games along the way. He's inspired his receiving corps to go out and make plays for him in each and every ball game.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Looking to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Only able to pick up 2, and that leads us to 3rd and goal. They'll drop to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down. And his kick is indeed good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
KC's offense ready to take over. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be
And Mahomes misfires again, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And he'll take this all the way down inside the 40. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Pass there over the middle to start things out. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling him almost on the spot.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 28. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. CD, this defense, man, at this rate, they're just having fun out there right now.
And normally with this type of a lead, if you're a starter on defense, you're saying, hey, let the other guys play. But with this going on, no one wants to come out of the game. They all want their shot at picking off a pass.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
There's a beautiful throw there, and he's been sensational the entire game, moving it around, spreading it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Read it well, and it's picked. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Eagles defense gets a pick 6 TD. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell and just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
Now they're down big here in the fourth. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
Now Mahomes to try again after the pick six. Mahomes hit. He lost the football. But it looks like the Chiefs are going to get it back.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage. But I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
On second and a long way to go. Mahomes. Now on the run. He'll throw it back deep over the middle. And my goodness, another interception.
Picked off by Paulson Adebo.
And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick six TD. Well, you don't want to coach him, Charles, to stay in the pocket on every play, but I guess that's the danger of getting outside of the pocket, extending a play, and making a bad throw. Turns into 6 points the other way.
Yeah, sometimes when you get outside the pocket, your vision actually gets obscured a little bit, or you narrow it down too much, and you don't see all the defenders in the area.
So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Chiefs are going to make the recovery. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time.
And in for the Chiefs touchdown. A great effort there. His second touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Chiefs look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this fourth quarter. Extra point splits the uprights, and that pushes the lead up to 23. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. There he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And that interception that ended their previous drive likely also ended any shot they had at victory.
Yeah, long road back from here, no doubt about that one. But let's face it, if you're going to go out.
And he's taken down, a Chiefs sack. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up second. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. He'll look to throw. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Firing quickly here, and that's complete.
And he is going to have an Eagles first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8.
Wide open receiver complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia.
Cornell Powell.
His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Eagles get a score closer.
Let's go. Let's bring it. Let's bring
They'll look to throw. He's got it. So they convert the two. That keeps their slim hopes alive as we're back to a two-score game. So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Interesting, Mahomes wants to throw it. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it'll be second down. They go play fake. Mahomes. This is caught. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Mecole Hardman, his 25th touchdown, tying him at Smith for the 5th most in one season.
And the Chiefs are on their way to a 13th win on the year as they add on to their lead.
Extra point right down the middle, and the lead opens up now to 22 points. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Philadelphia's offense ready to go again. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the 4th. Now on 3rd and forever, he'll look to throw. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him, but after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it.
Like 22 is coming, 22 is coming.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And he's not able to get away. He is stopped well short of a first down. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Chiefs will have the football back in excellent field position. Mahomes going to throw it here. Throw left side complete. That's Manning. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. A great play there. 30 yards.
And the Chiefs are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
The point after is good. And that'll push the lead up to 29 now. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he returns this to the 22.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time.
picked off by Caleb Farley. And the Chiefs come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians.